Alright guys, so today I decided to work on that frame rail. I tried to do a side mount engine conversion in the car, and the kit didn't work out. So moving on to something else here. I don't know if anybody caught the video. It was my very first Series 1 video there, like from a couple days ago. And anyway, I showed the frame horn here. It had, the car had been taking a pretty good whack right up here at the front. All the frame is pretty much square. Somebody had actually, you can see where they had beat on this to get it back out to where it needed to be to mount the bumper. If you need to work on your frame horns here, in case you need to know, like if you measure right up here at the front top edge of your frame horn to the front top edge of your other frame horn, should be about 36 inches. 36 inches, there's always a little bit of variance there, just about every car I've ever seen, but 36 is about where it needs to be. So anyway, this frame horn, I ended up having to cut it off, and I mean it was messed up. I could not straighten it on the car. I needed to take it off. I needed to lay it down flat on top of my vise on the flat pad, and I needed to hammer the fire out of this thing. So I beat on it pretty good, and I've got it pretty dang nice. This thing was all crushed in really far. There's a reinforcement plate on the back that is spot welded on, and there was only 2 of those that were still connected. The others were broken free, and this was hanging out. This was stretched apart. This is supposed to be flat here, so I had to put a relief cut in it all the way through and about 3/4 through right here, and that allowed me to, fold it back down, and then I could lay this flat also and hammer it straight because it was tweaked. Now what I did was I used my little portable sand blaster, and I blasted the parts here. That way I can, get all the corrosion off and stuff. I've got some 3M weld through primer that I'm going to spray on this and spray on this before I weld this to this. But anyway, I went through and I've used a 36 grit Blaze, Norton Blaze disc on a 90-degree angle grinder, and I've went through here and I've put like a 45-degree edge on this and on the frame rail to put this back on. But anyway, I have a piece of steel plate here, steel tubing, I guess, pretty thick stuff. This is what I'm going to put actually on here when I get ready to put that on there, and I'm going to clamp this on the main part of the frame, and I'm going to clamp that to that so I know it's pretty straight. But anyway, don't be afraid, if you've got some bent frame rails, don't be afraid to try to tweak them a little bit. You can bend it pretty easy. It's not really that thick of metal, honestly, but if you've got a pretty bad wrinkle, like it's wrinkled up pretty bad from being folded over like this one had, you're probably going to have to slice it with a cut-off wheel before you bend it, because it's the metal stretched out. There's too much metal there. You're going to have to, make it go away and then re-weld it and grind it. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, if you do need to measure for square, the very front of the frame horn is the part that will really bend. This cross supports here, this will usually keep this pretty good. But if they take a really good whack, it will bend these. But if you want to make sure that you're square on this part right here without the horns, where these are riveted on, you can cross measure from the center of that rivet to the center frame in this whole, your cradle right here. Just measure from there to there, and then cross measure from there to there. That'll pretty much tell you if it's out of square or not. But definitely 36 from outside edge to outside edge of the frame rail will get you where you need to be. But this was bothering me because this car has another fender on it from another car. You can tell by the paint from underneath and stuff. So anyway, that fender had been replaced, and that frame had been tweaked on, but apparently they needed to adjust that, so they used a cutting torch in there and kind of torched it out. I went in here with a die grinder with a burr bit and kind of tried to square it up a little bit, and then I took a piece of scrap steel that's the same thickness as that, and I've got it cut to fit, and I'm actually going to completely weld this up solid, and then go back and grind it real good front and back, and that's another good reason to take it off, because you can really get to it real good that way. But anyway, patch this, grind both sides, get it where it needs to be, do the 3M weld through primer on the back of that on this, and I can see from where I had to drill the other 2 spot welds, the only 2 spot welds left, I have an alignment place to put this right back where it needs to be, and the hole in that is going to be my locator hole for that. So kind of a mess, but at the end of the day, it's going to end up looking like no damage was ever done, pretty much. I mean, I'll go in here and I'll grind both sides real nice and make it look good. But I love doing metalwork. Metalwork's one of the things I really love to do. I like to take my time and make it turn out really nice. But anyway, the old car's in pretty good shape. For whatever reason, there's 2 holes drilled in the frame here. I don't know what they did there. So I stuck the burr bit down there just to clean it to metal, and I used a Scotch-it disc on my 90-degree angle grinder, kind of smooth that up. I'm going to fill those up with weld and then go back and grind them off. But just notice the hook hole here is actually pulled out a little bit, so I'm going to try to square that up as well here in a little bit. This one's good. Nobody's done anything to it. But the one on the bad side is the one that's good, and the one on the good side is bad. But what else? I guess that's it, guys. Oh, I might want to add, I hit 1,000 subscribers this morning. It was pretty freaking awesome, man. So I've kind of made the steps to do the monetization process, and I guess it can take up to like 30 days for them to approve you for monetization, because they have to review the channel. So should be pretty good, I guess. I don't know. It's something I really don't know nothing about. So there was stuff you had to read and go through and check boxes and do all kinds of stuff. So see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video off and get started here, because I can only do my videos for about 15 or 16 minutes at the most. So if I do a video and I think it's right at about 17 minutes, or maybe a little over, or close to 1654 or something like that. When I import the video to my computer, it'll put it into 2 videos. And I ain't figured out how to put 2 videos together yet. So I've tried 2 different softwares, and I can't get the softwares to work very good. So it's something I'd kind of like to have somebody sit down and show me how to do. And I don't really know anybody local that does YouTube videos, so I'm just going to have to figure it out. But I'm going to try, now that I'm kind of taking a break off the hardtop, and I'm not putting in so many hours every day trying to focus on that car. I might try to put a little bit more effort into trying to learn how to edit. Now I can put videos together, and I come out here and take videos all day, and then at the end of the night I can put them all together and then do one video for everybody instead of having to do part 1, part 2, and part 3 and all that. But I don't know. I guess if you subscribe to the channel, you didn't mind seeing a one-hit wonder videos, so I do appreciate it for subscribing, guys. It's pretty awesome. It's funny, when I started my channel in 2017, I was just using my cell phone, and what happened was I've always been a car forum builder. I would do it with pictures and build cars on forums, and I would do the progression on all them forums. Whatever the car was related to, that was the forum specific for it. But anyway, I got to where my photo host sites, I tried a couple of different ones, and they had pop-up ads and everything, and it was just getting irritating. And somebody suggested I should do YouTube videos, which would work out better, because I had friends and family that lives kind of far away that always wanted to see what I was doing. So I just decided to do YouTube videos on my cell phone, and I never thought in a million years that I would have more than 25 subscribers, because it was just mainly for friends and family at the time. But they was just always wanting to keep up with me, because I'm always dragging cars in and working on them. But anyway, here I am, and I have 1,000, and man, it's awesome. I tell you, it's a good feeling that there's other guys or gals like me that enjoy people dragging cars in from the middle of nowhere into their driveway or garage and working on them at home. I think that's pretty cool, because that's my favorite thing. I love to see garage built cars. We don't always do that stuff exactly the way it's supposed to be done, and sometimes, but well, at least we get it done. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video, and thanks again for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do that.